Hi, my name is Chen, and I am the program director of the Ombudsman program in St. Louis, Missouri, and our organization is called Voice. And we have this project with SLU, and the project is called GWEP. It's a Geriatric Workforce Enhancement Program. So now, today, we are going to talk about Advance Directives, which is very important for any medical or clinical professionals to know. So let's move on. So this is me, and this is my information. And any questions, any confusion, feel free to reach out to me. And then the contact info is on the bottom on the left hand side. So feel free to reach out to me. And then the disclosure. So the project is actually supported by HRSA, and then the information or content and conclusions are those of the author and should not be construed as the official position or policy of, nor should any endorsements be inferred by HRSA. Okay. Now, so today, what we're gonna learn here, we're gonna first understand advanced directives, what those are, and we are gonna clarify some myths, some confusion about advanced directives, and then since everyone here are or will be medical clinical professionals, then we are going to talk about how these advanced directives are being utilized in reality and in practice. So first of all, there is a lot of very, very helpful, very good, very beneficial information in this book. This book is issued or published by Legal Services of Eastern Missouri. So feel free to download a copy through the link on the left-hand side. And so the book has a lot of great information for an especially an aging adult, an older adult, and such as what is power of attorney, such as how to create your own will, your living will, what is DNR, and how to get that done, that kind of information, which uh, are what we are talking about, advanced directives. So feel free to get a copy of this book. This book is free, and then just read it through. There's a lot of good information for you here. Okay. So now for the remainder of our presentation today, for the most part, we are gonna stay in this slide. Okay. So advanced directives. Well, I'm gonna actually focus on these couple different things, and they are POA, they are and living will, medical directives, DNR, and then there's another one that we are not so sure about if we will be using it in the long run, moving forward, and that is a purple piece of paper. It's called the OHDNR. Okay, so we're gonna focus on these five different subjects here. Now, um, so let's start with our power of attorney. So power of attorney, it is we hear this term all the time, right? Power of attorney. So and some people call them durable power of attorney, DPOA. So usually when we set up a power of attorney, we do not need a lawyer. However, we do need to have a notary. Okay, that POA form. Once you fill that out, it needs to be notarized. If it's not notarized, that is not a sufficient legal document. It is not valid. Okay. So, POA, usually there are different kinds, about three kinds. And that is, let's say if I have my POA for medical, and the person that's gonna decide for my medical decisions, that is John. And then I have also POA for financial, and that is Mary. But then let's say if I don't want to go through that, dividing kind of trouble, what is medical versus what is financial, then I can have the Mary and John to be on my general POA paperwork. So Mary and John on my POA paperwork, they are not considered POA per se. Okay, they are actually my agent that makes decisions for me. And so because when we talk about POA, that means those paperwork, that piece of papers, that's POA. And then Mary and John, who are gonna make decisions for me when I cannot make decisions for myself, that's considered my agents. Okay. So again, you do not need a lawyer to help you with your POA setup, but you certainly can hire a lawyer. It is just that if you don't use a lawyer, you just go to your bank after you fill out the POA paperwork to you go to the bank, get it notarized. That is free. And then a few different suggestions. You will need to let the person. For example, me, I'm gonna need to let Mary and John know that, oh, they will become my decision maker. They will become my my agents on the POA paperwork. So they will make decisions for me when I can no longer make decisions for myself. Now, I'm gonna repeat again. This is very important. What is important here is this. Mary and John, my agents that make decisions for me, they will make decisions for me when I can no longer make decisions for myself. So that means two things. One, Mary and John, they are not making decisions for me right now because I get to make decisions for myself. I am still my own responsible party. That means I'm still my own decision maker. Okay, that's one. Two, when can they make decisions for me then? That is when I am deemed incapacitated, which is actually a medical decision after my doctor's evaluation. Okay. So that means that even if now I already put Mary and John on my POA paperwork, and then the documents already got notarized and that is a legal document. That's not active. That does not mean that John and Mary, they can just simply start making decisions for me. No, no, they cannot. They cannot make decisions for me, no matter that's financial or medical, until I am deemed incapacitated by my doctor. Okay? So that means that it takes two different steps in order for POA process to complete, and in order for the agents on the POA paperwork to start legally making decisions. And the two steps are one, uh, the paperwork needs to be created. The paperwork needs to be notarized. That is the first step. The second step is when I'm deemed incapacitated, when I can no longer make decisions for myself. Say, for example, if I have dementia, if I have any, cognitive issues, if I get hit by a bus and I can no longer make decisions because I'm in a coma. And those are the situations that I cannot make decisions for myself. My doctor has to deem me incapacitated. Therefore, my agents on the POA paperwork, they can start making decisions for me legally. Okay. Now that's POA. Now, living will. Before I die, I'm gonna create my living will. And my living will is, well, I am going to bequeath my property to John. I'm gonna give my car to John, and I'm gonna give all of my stocks, my jewelry to Mary. And then I'm gonna give this to that person. I'm gonna give this to that person. That is living will. Okay. Living will. You again, you are gonna need to let these people know, the people who are in your will, right? So that they know what to expect. And on when you are creating your living will, don't forget you need to put in your will that about how what you want to happen with your body when you die. It is very important how you want people to do to your body. So you want to be cremated, you want to be buried, you want your body to be donated to the science. So you need to specify those things, okay? So that's living will. And as a medical or a clinical professional, those are the things that you need to pay attention to for POA and for living will both. Okay. Now, medical directives. So medical directives, you can download the forms, just like the POA form, the living will form. You can download those forms through the link below. Okay. So medical directives. So what is medical directives? So Missouri's general medical directives, that the one that you can download for free. That one, it is well, I usually look at it as a map. What you want to happen to you medically. When you say, for example, you are in a coma, you cannot express your wishes. So, example, well, when I'm in a coma and my doctor finds that I have cancer in my lungs, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna allow them to do chemo to do radiation to for me to treat my cancer? Um, when I'm in a coma, they find that, oh, my kidney they don't work anymore, and I now have a kidney failure. So what am I gonna do? Or am I gonna be on dialysis? Am I gonna allow them to put me on dialysis? Because I cannot express my wishes. Now I'm in a coma, right? Well, they find that my esophagus no longer works. And am I gonna be doing getting a tube feeding? So are they gonna feed me through a tube? Since again, I cannot speak for myself. I can no longer express my wishes, at least for now, right? So when those medical conditions happen, what am I gonna do? So this is what medical directives are. So Missouri's medical directives form, they have 9 different very important, very hard questions. And the questions are the examples I just gave a few seconds ago. So when you cannot express your wishes, and then when your doctor finds that, oh, your esophagus, your kidneys, your lungs, all of these situations, what would you like to happen? Okay. So now nine different kinds of very challenging, very difficult medical situations. And then you might be thinking, well, if I have a power of attorney, if I have a medical power of attorney, this person, say John can make decisions for me, right? So I don't necessarily have to have medical directives. Well, I think it is a better practice if you still have your medical directives done because one, John can then make decisions for you when you're in a coma and make decisions for you based on the medical directives that you've already set up. That's one. And then two, we talked about, well, there are only 9 different kinds of questions, 9 different kinds of difficult scenarios on that medical directives paperwork. Well, we all know that there are many, 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 more than 9 different scenarios that could happen to us, right? So anything outside of those 9 scenarios mentioned in the medical directives, then your medical POA, John, can make decisions for that when those things happen and when those things are not included in the medical directives. Okay? DNR, that's do not resuscitate. So do not resuscitate, that's different from DNI, so do not intubate. And it is also different from AND, and that is allow natural death. Okay. So, but the most important one is DNR. That's the one that we hear the most often. So I'm gonna talk about that one. And for DNI and AND, you're gonna just read the information below yourself. Okay. So DNR, do not resuscitate. That basically means that when your heart stops, you are not breathing. What would you like to happen? So you want them to resuscitate you. You want them to do CPR on you. You want them to shock you. That's you can have that. Then if you want to have that, then you do not want to sign that DNR. However, if when your heart stops, you just want to let go. You don't want to fight. You want to just go peacefully. Then you need to sign that DNR. DNR, that is do not resuscitate. You don't want them to resuscitate you by performing CPR on you, by shocking you to bring you back. Okay. So now once you sign that DNR, you need to actually make copies, put it in your medical file, put it in your important documents at home. So let your doctors know, let your loved ones know, let your POA decision makers know, right? That being said, though, we had, and now I'm using past tense, okay? We had this thing, it is called OHDNR. It is out of hospital, do not resuscitate form, okay? Okay, OHDNR. And then OHDNR, it is that, well, do not resuscitate. It only legally can cover the areas such as your nursing home, your assisted living, your own home, and when you're in the hospital, those DNR forms they do work, okay? But when let's say if well you are being transported on an ambulance. You are on this ambulance ride from point A to point B, probably hospital. Then in Missouri, EMT folks, these professionals that are riding with you in an ambulance, they are by law required to resuscitate you, okay? Even though you have DNR forms. Therefore, Missouri law, it said that, well, if you want to waive the responsibilities of these EMT people, then you had to have this form. It is called OHDNR, which has to be printed on a piece of purple paper. Purple, okay? Purple paper. And then of course you need to sign, and your doctor needs to sign too. That's your purple OHDNR. And a lot of times when say a medical professional, an ambulance, EMT folks, when they show up in a nursing home, the very first thing they ask, do this patient that you called us for, do they have a purple form? And that is this, okay? OHDNR. However, Missouri, we are actually transitioning out of this purple OHDNR practice. So right now, as of we are recording this session, it is September 2025. We are not sure if we don't use purple OHDNR, then what will we use? We don't know yet. At least at the moment that I'm recording this session, I'm not sure. We don't have a clear direction. Therefore, since before we have a clear direction about where we are going from here, about OHDNR, well, can DNR form itself just cover everywhere? We don't have to have a separate purple form for OHDNR. I do not know. And then we are still waiting for our state to give us more clear directions. Okay, so very complicated, very important information about these 5 different documents. Okay, so and this is all about liability. If you want to make your life more easier, you can feel more comfortable about, well, if I die, if I have a heart attack, if I'm in a coma, even though I'm very healthy right now, well, who knows? Tomorrow, what if I don't have what if I don't have I don't have a capacity to make decisions for myself, right? And I also don't want my family to fall into this a lot of complicated issues, liability issues, and then liability, especially for medical professionals, for them to actually treat you, save you, for them to actually help you. So you need to get those important paperwork done. It's not because you are old now. No. Even if when you are young, you still need to get these done. Okay. So then you can save yourself from some really complicated issues. Okay. As always, these are the numbers for abuse hotline, as well as numbers and contact information for the ombudsman program that I work for. Okay. Okay, so any questions regarding these very important documents? Here's how you can reach me. Okay. Now, any questions about the SLU's GWEP program, their Geriatric Workforce Enhancement Program? Please feel free to reach out. And then there are all kinds of numbered website information on this slide. So feel free to connect. And then otherwise, if you don't have any questions, then I will see you in the next session. Thank you.